What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Campoli, and today I'm on the right side of your screen. Actually, no, I'm on the left side of your screen because we switched it up. We have a big group today. We have amazing guests. We have David, Christina, and Carlos from the CB group at the agency. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's been a pleasure. Don't excuse me if I'm like weird because I'm so used to turning this way. Yeah, for everyone out there who doesn't know who you guys are, if you want to give a little brief bio into your team, the agency. I'm sure they've all seen on Instagram. You have an amazing profile, so I'll let who wants to go first.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Are you sure you're ready?
Definitely ready.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We're good.
All good. So I've been in real estate since 2008, so 14 years now, I guess.
Was that a rough year?
That was a very rough year to start.
Okay, that's an interesting year to start. Yeah.
And you know what? I was young. I was, I'm going to say about 23, 24 years old. It was tough. So it was a rough start. I mean, I can take you through the whole history of my career, but I mean, for us and the group, we started together with a team in Oakville. I had been there for maybe 4 or 5 years prior to you guys coming on. And then, I mean, it was a luxury team out of Oakville, and you know, we enjoyed our time there. We learned a lot, and then we were given an opportunity to move over to the agency, and we really haven't looked back since. And we decided to join up and kind of combine forces at that point, and it's really been an amazing decision. So we've been quite happy with the move. The agency is a great brokerage. It's really given us a different platform for new buyers, and you know, using social media and all those tools that come along with it. Carlos and Christina have an amazing following on social media, so I myself I've never really used that platform for my business. I'm starting to a little bit now because of Carlos and Christina pushing me to get a little bit better on social media.
I'll push you too, man.
Yeah, you push me. Yeah, exactly. I've heard it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been amazing. It's been a really good transition, and partnering with Carlos and Christina has been an amazing thing. So
that's cool. I like that dynamic. So it's like the two of you and then you with partnership. That's a cool little synergy there.
Definitely.
And then how big is your team in total?
Yeah, so it's the three of us, and we're the main partners of the team.
Yep.
And then we have another team member, and we are currently discussing joining or having another one join us.
Beautiful.
Which is great. So as long as we can stay busy and keep them happy, then you know, we'll continue growing.
Exactly. And what's your favorite color, you guys?
It's red.
Oh, good answer. Good
has to
answer.
be.
The agency is watching right now. The agency is watching right now.
it's
You
red.
almost caught me. I was going to say blue.
Yeah.
Christina's always on the ball. That's why she's
Yeah.
here.
That's why she took the answer.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, like you guys you have an amazing presence online. I think the agency brand like really suits you guys, and you've really niched down on like luxury and all that. So I'd love to talk about the importance of like niching down as an agent, because people they have no idea where they want to go or what they're good at. So how was luxury decided for you guys?
I mean, Carlos and I started in real estate about 9 years ago, and we always kind of were attracted to those luxury homes, those luxury listings. We did a couple luxury sales on our own when we started with Royal LePage, and we thought, why don't we join a luxury team? That's the best way to get into the luxury market. It's the best way to learn. So we joined the team David was on, and we worked really hard from the bottom up. You know,
We had to sacrifice.
Yeah,
stuff.
we made sacrifices, but we worked on this team. We learned everything about the different features and finishes that go into luxury homes, and how do you price them, because they're all custom and they're all so different. So it was a great learning experience for us, but we always kind of knew that that's where we wanted to be. It's just naturally our business kind of went that way.
And our network as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that plays a factor too. Most of the people that focus in luxury, they already are part of that community as well. So the transition can be easier. You know?
For sure. And what separates, so you mentioned like you need to know the finishes, the details. What are some things that you must take on knowledge-wise to really excel in the luxury space?
Statistics.
Okay.
So really, really knowing the market.
Yeah.
So one of our big focuses is waterfront. So knowing everything that you can know about, Oakville waterfront, Burlington waterfront, is very, very important because, the people that live on the water, they know everything.
Yeah.
So even when it comes to private sales and that sort of thing, I mean, if you don't know the private sales and you're trying to break into that market and, you're sitting across the table from a seller and that seller knows about a sale and you don't, you're out of the conversation immediately.
In terms of like private sales?
Private
Because
sales,
word
yeah.
goes
Off-market,
around,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all of those facets. There's a lot of different facets as far as, we really break down our CMAs. We go really, really deep into them with, the amount of detail that we provide as far as averages and, that sort of thing. So, there's a lot of different facets to getting into the luxury market, setting yourself apart from, other competition out there, and the more details you can provide, the better. But at the same time, a lot of those people that are in those houses, they don't have a lot of time, right? So, having those little one-pagers when you go into these meetings and that sort of thing of, what's the average price per square foot or the average price per square foot of the land, or, all of these different little facets that you can throw in there and you put it on one sheet and they can go through it and it's a very quick and easy decision. It's just, we refer to it as an executive summary.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
There's a lot of different facets to it, but getting into the details of it, because I never want to be caught flat-footed in a meeting either,
Right.
where you don't have the answers if somebody asks a question.
Yeah.
So, having that knowledge and that background is quite important.
And how competitive is it walking into these listing appointments? Because I imagine it's always the same kind of names competing, or?
I mean, yeah.
I will say that in the Burlington Oakville market,
Yeah.
you had the typical teams that are competing for the same listings.
Yeah.
And they're all really good agents.
Yeah, for sure.
Really, really good. We have amazing colleagues in Halton, which is so nice. So, it's you really have to go in on your game in these presentations because you're going up against some pretty big names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess we're all different in a way too
We are.
of what we have to offer. So
For sure.
and I think that's what sets us apart with the agency. We're kind of like more modern, fresh, different type of marketing, a little bit more edgier, I guess.
Yeah.
So you kind of try to set yourself apart from your competition when you're going up for these listings, and let them know you have something different to offer.
And I think the new buyers is changing too. It's a younger buyer now coming to these luxury homes. So they like the new fresh look, the way we approach business with technology, social media. So that's something that can relate.
That was a lot of the reason for our change to the agency.
Yes.
Was that that young millennial buyer that has more and more money these days.
Yep.
To kind of attract to them with the marketing and the different marketing tools that we have, and the different style of marketing, rather than that kind of stuffy vibe that a lot of people will put out.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then is it all three of you going in to a presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a force.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh
People
yeah.
get intimidated. Like, I'm not like
Generally not. We keep it pretty casual. Like we're
Yeah.
not
We're not
we try
very
not to be too
serious.
intimidating.
yeah. No, you guys have a great vibe together.
Thank you.
Yeah,
which
we're
is
pretty
awesome.
chill. But I think with those luxury properties, you need a team of people behind you because you're there for every showing. You have to detail every aspect of the home when you're presenting that property. Like there's a lot of work that goes into presenting a luxury property and marketing a luxury property. Like our photo shoots take 3-4 hours minimum. Like we're doing Instagram reels, agent intro videos, Matterport tour floor plans, day shots, night shots,
Yes.
Drone footage. So there's so much that goes into marketing a luxury property that it helps that we're a team going into that listing appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody brings something to the table too,
Right.
something different, So
What would you say, like, sort of the three kind of strengths individually
well,
that you bring?
I would say, I will speak for Christina.
Okay.
Social media is top notch.
Okay, for sure. And we all
Technology.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Social media is Christina's very, very strong point, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She makes us look good.
And I would say like Carlos is really good with statistics and numbers, and he knows like every street and what every house sold on every street. Dave, he's phenomenal. When he writes like a description for a property, he does a phenomenal job. And he's also super knowledgeable.
I envy that.
about all the.
I envy
Well,
those.
well,
You
know
can
what?
hire
It's-
Dave.
it almost frustrates me sometimes because it takes me so long to do these things. Sometimes
Yeah.
writing a text message, composing a text message, the way
Yeah.
I'm like going back and forth through it and editing all that kind of stuff. But I just want to make sure I'm saying
Yeah.
the right things and keeping the plan.
And he's very detail oriented,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
it's important.
That's all. I love how because some people will never give up themselves as an individual and like partner. Surrendering to the idea of like a partnership. I mean, even like a trio. Like you
Yeah.
all bring in amazing qualities, and you've like niched down in that respective quality within yourselves. I can just imagine you guys at that listing presentation, and you just like having that comfort of like knowing like, okay, Carlos has got the numbers, the statistics. Like question comes up, it's like Carlos got this. Any of the details, Dave's got it, and then the social media part, like the marketing, you got it. Like that's cool.
We play
Yeah.
off of each other.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I can imagine like how impressed the sellers are
Yeah.
when you walk in.
We hope so.
Yeah, do you guys want to take my listings?
We'd love to. Yeah.
No, just take all of mine if you're down, if you want. Yeah, especially the description part.
Yeah, we can co-list
Yeah, I'm
with
done
you.
with
We'll call this.
We'll co-list
We
with
don't want to
you.
knock you out completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love to get into the social media part because a lot of our viewers are, it's very agent focused, but a lot of them are newer or like getting into the business or like first. It's a wide range of viewers, but I find that a lot of them are newer and just finding out like what should I do. Social media is a big topic nowadays, and especially when it comes to bringing on guests here that actually really excel. People love to learn because I feel like they're their worst enemy when it
Right.
comes to social media. Everyone's like, how do you do it? Like, how's your page look so good? I'm like, I don't know. I just post things,
Yeah.
So like, what would you say 2022, like some things to really focus on, or like some things that maybe you're focusing on in the future?
Well, I think you have to have a little bit of a strategy behind it. You can't just be randomly posting. One thing, and that's really important when you're new, is branding yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
so determine like who's your market and how do you serve that market and what makes you different. So those are really important factors to consider when you're branding yourself. And what value do you bring to the table? So, people don't just want to follow you to see pretty pictures. They want to learn something. You have to add value. So when I'm posting stuff, I try to give tips, information about the market, something that's going to make people want to continue following us, something that's going to educate the viewer. So, all of that plays a part in, when you're deciding what your strategy is and what you're going to be posting.
Yeah. And you mentioned you guys do a lot of business through Instagram, right? Like last year you had the $6 million deal.
Yeah. So last year we did over $20 million worth of sales
That's
through
nuts.
Instagram.
Yeah.
And we had a $6 million listing that we sold. It was off market, so it wasn't on MLS. And we sold it through Instagram, just marketing it on Instagram, sharing it. We had agents come in and, agents follow us on social media. So they see these exclusive listings that we post, and then they called us and said, hey, can we get into this listing? So we set up a weekend. We had all the agents come through, and we ended up selling it within, 2 weeks? Yeah. And this listing had been listed previously with a different team for, I think, 4 years.
Wow.
Exclusively. And they
And we
couldn't-
got top dollars.
yeah, we
Wow.
got top dollar very quickly just through social media. Because you can reach so many more people
100%.
so much quicker
Yeah.
when you market something on social media. And you can do paid ads. You can collaborate with other accounts, let other luxury accounts share our listings. Like that's okay with us because the more exposure, the better.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
think with that, I mean, when I was kind of not really into social media, that sort of thing, and I'm still not really big into social as far as my own account is concerned. But a lot of the feedback you hear from other agents, well, it's only other agents following you, that sort of thing, doesn't make a big difference. But the fact that we were able to sell a $6 million property through Instagram because another agent was following us, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, getting your properties out in front of other agents just gives us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
more ability to sell these things exclusively and off market.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think there's I talk about this all the time, but it's a misconception with collaborating and agents versus agents.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people think outside looking in, it's like, oh, like they're your competition. It's like, no, it's I
We
call
work
it
together.
co-opetition.
Yeah, that's a
like
good
that.
Yeah.
idea.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's like I have a big agent following too, but every time I post a listing, all my DMs or agents are like, hey, can I come see it early? What's the price? I might have a client for you.
That's amazing.
And right off the bat, I'm like, hey guys, just so you, like my client, hey, just so you know, I just had 6 DMs on clients who are already interested, or agents who are already interested for their clients. Because, you know, we do miss things on MLS sometimes if we're not actively looking, and we spend a lot of our time on social media. Like that is the new, I guess, MLS, I guess you can call it, right?
Definitely.
So, yeah, it's super cool that you've done that. Do you find you need to approach social media differently for luxury?
I don't know. Differently. I mean, obviously you have to have super high quality photos and video. We have a great team that we work with. And Instagram reels are huge. So, you know, we'll post a luxury property, we'll post an Instagram reel, we'll get way more hits than realtor.ca, way more views. You know, we can get 20,000 views on an Instagram reel and the client's super, super happy.
Yeah.
You know,
Better
that's
than
huge
an open house.
exposure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it has to be very like high resolution, high quality, you know, edited photos. Like you can't just take them with your iPhone, which, you know, you do see sometimes with maybe lower end properties, but like you should never do that with any property.
Yeah.
I feel.
It's important to spend the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. You shouldn't shortchange it because you'll see it.
Right. Right
Especially
away.
with the quality that's out there now, you can easily tell the difference.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. It's super important. And do you find that, are you tracking a lot of buyers and sellers through Instagram as well?
Definitely. Like we just sold like a $4.3 million listing because the buyer saw it on our Instagram stories, saw that it was coming soon, was the first one in the property. So, you know, we've definitely attract buyers and sellers that way as well. When we were locked down for 21 days earlier this year, I showed up on my stories for 21 days and gave tips about how you could improve your home. And from those stories, I got calls from buyers and sellers that wanted to work with us. So it does pay to show up on social media. And I think people need to know, like, and trust you. They want to get to know you. So it's really important that you show up on camera because then people can relate better to you. Yeah. And everyone hates to see themselves, on camera. They're like, oh, I don't like the way I look, or I don't like being on camera. But the more you do it, the more you practice, the easier it becomes.
Definitely.
That's my biggest problem.
Yeah, you just have to get in front of the camera.
I was there too before.
I like your voice, David.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You should make a video later. I better see it by 6 p.m.
I may watch this. I don't know.
By 6 p.m. tonight, I want to see a reel of you talking. Okay.
There you go.
All right, that's a deal.
But yeah, it's being yourself. People love it. They can tell when you're trying too hard, or you're not trying to be yourself, trying to be someone you're not, and it's not attractive to people. Versus putting your genuine, authentic self out there, and people are like, wow, I want to work with this person, Also, you attract people you'd want to work with too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Versus people you wouldn't want to work with, right? So that's a cool way of
weeding
filtering.
out your clients. You're going to attract people that can relate to you.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So let's talk about the agency. So your favorite color is red. Great answer. What attracted you guys to the agency? I know you mentioned it's a fresh approach, but was there a conversation? Someone maybe approached you? Was it what show is Mauricio on?
Oh, it's $1 Million Listing LA.
Okay.
So David and James,
yes,
the two British agents, they're from the agency.
So it was that vibe that attracted you guys, because it's hand in hand with luxury too, right? So
it was, yeah, it definitely was a vibe. I mean, we noticed that the agency was opening up in Oakville, and I think it was kind of right around the same time we were, on that same wavelength, and we'd actually just message each other, hey, did you see the agency's opening up in Oakville? And then, it took a little while for us to make that decision. It was a big switch because we had been there for, majority of our careers. And then, I think it was the marketing, the branding, everything behind the agency, that new kind of vibe for that, younger buyer coming out of LA, really, really attractive stuff. It was, and then, we got a pretty cool little package with them, and, it was amazing. And yeah, it was a pretty easy decision after we saw everything that they could do with technology-wise and, marketing ourselves, and,
and I think it's the culture too.
The culture
was play a big factor for us.
Absolutely. We didn't have to reinvent ourselves. It was, we were going into a brand that was already built, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
us going to a Remax or a Royal LePage and then having to come up with our own logos and
Right.
you know, that kind of stuff. So that was another big factor for us too.
Yeah, it's a small boutique luxury focused brokerage. So there's not hundreds of agents in each office. There's maybe like 15 to 20 agents per office. Very collaborative culture. We kind of call ourselves a family.
Yeah.
We all help one another. And even like agents from other offices will repost or share your listings. I'll share listings from other offices. Like we're just very collaborative that way, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I like the culture of the agency. It's
Yeah.
trendy. The branding is cool. I feel like I'd want to just wear the shirt or the hat.
We can get
And,
you one.
Yeah,
Yeah?
we can
We'll
get you one.
for sure.
yeah.
You have to wear it on the next podcast.
Okay, I'll just rock the agency. Sorry,
I'll
Royal
do a
LePage.
reel. You wear the agency.
Sorry, guys.
But like the
They're
culture,
paying me now, I'm kidding.
the culture really comes from like the top down. So we went to Palm Desert last year. The agency had their global forum. We met Mauricio and Billy Rose, like the founders of the agency, and like they live, breathe, eat, sleep the culture. You know, they're super down to earth, super collaborative, very approachable. So it's really cool to see that. Like there's no ego. These are some of the top producing agents in the US that were at this conference, and like everybody was cool. Everybody was like willing to share information on
Ideas and everything.
ideas. So it's a great place to be for sure.
Yeah, and all the agency agents I've had on here, love it.
Mm-hmm.
They're all like stoked and like so like about it, rocking the
Yeah.
The shirt.
no assholes.
No
Yeah,
assholes.
exactly.
Asshole shirt.
That's
Yeah.
our number one
And
rule.
that is so true.
Yeah.
Like, most true. Even at the conference when we were at, everybody's so approachable. Everybody's so friendly. I mean, you can walk up to even David and James, and they,
Yeah.
you know, they were hanging out with us at the pool, sitting
Yeah.
poolside, just chatting about.
That's really
anything,
cool.
which is so cool. But,
Yeah.
you know, you'd think they'd have an ego or you know that sort of
Yeah.
thing. But
Yeah, even
everybody
Mauricio.
talked-
Mauricio was there
Mauricio's amazing.
having drinks, everything.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
That's what makes the culture though.
Yeah.
Having those, especially the top guys,
Yeah.
just right there with you, teaching you, being friends. You know.
Yeah,
That's I think super important in our business.
for sure.
Do you see is there a luxury listing Toronto coming or what?
That would be amazing. Yeah, call us.
You can
We'll-
see
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if whoever's listening.
It's right
Yeah.
up there. I mean, it's the part of the brand I feel like is runs parallel with the whole TV thing, especially in LA and stuff. So I wouldn't see why.
Yeah, you
Why
never
not?
know. But we have some beautiful listings in Toronto and Oakville and you know the GTA that would showcase amazing. So
Absolutely.
And so just circle back to luxury for a bit. For the audience, like people looking to get into luxury, as an agent, obviously looking to get in, what would you say are some tips for them to get their foot in the door and start to tap into luxury market?
Well, I think you should create your brand targeting luxury to start with.
Yeah.
That's one of the key things. And then obviously you want to join maybe, if you're not part of the community already, maybe join a team that focuses on luxury and learn from them,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
use them as a mentor, I would say.
My biggest tip would be hang out where they are, where that demographic hangs out. I mean, if you join a golf club or
Yeah.
you know anything like that, you can go to social events or fundraisers or anything and really get your name out there after you've established some sort of a branding for yourself. And,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So, yeah,
You have
that
to
would
be part
my
of the
tips.
community, otherwise
Absolutely.
it's really hard.
Really
do
hard
you
to
guys
get
do
to know.
community stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a member of a golf course in Hamilton, Burlington area, and that's a good source of meeting people and getting out there. I was born and raised in Oakville, so I know a lot of people just from my upbringing and in that community, and the school I attended when I was in high school and that sort of thing. So that's kind of given me a little bit of a leg up. But Carlos and Christina, you weren't born in
No.
Oakville, Burlington,
No.
so
No.
you guys have
Yeah.
you know that very, very well.
yeah, so we moved from Toronto to Oakville when we had kids, and then our way to get into that luxury market was joining a luxury team. So there's different ways of getting in to the market, and don't be intimidated. Like just think of it as it's an extra zero at the end of the
Yeah.
price point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So don't be intimidated. A lot of times working with luxury buyers and sellers is a little bit easier because they've probably bought and sold homes many times. So they're really familiar with the paperwork and the process, and you
Yeah.
don't have to explain everything like you would a first time buyer. So
And they're used to making deals as
Right.
well. A lot
sure.
of them, they're high positions where they had to make
They run
quick decisions
companies,
and
yeah.
Business
yes,
oriented.
business oriented.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are getting intimidated. Like they feel like once you're working in that market, the sellers are just harder to deal with, or the buyers are harder to deal with. But yeah, it can be easier because they're a lot. They're willing to take more risks. They're quicker to make decisions.
Right.
Versus a first-time home buyer who's just picking everything apart, really scared.
Exactly.
You know, stuff like that's actually way harder.
Way harder.
So I think it's a misconception out there, and people just psych themselves out.
Yeah.
You know.
First-time buyers, they'll read through every single line of the contract. Whereas, last week when we were working on this $4.5 million deal, we're getting close to irrevocable times, and I sent the DocuSign off to have it signed by the sellers, and Carlos was working with the buyer, and I got the DocuSign confirmed back in like 5 minutes, and I was like, did you guys even read this contract?
Yeah.
And it makes you a little bit nervous. But yeah, I mean, just because they're more experienced and
Yeah, they've bought and sold many times. They know the
Absolutely.
contract.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's good info for people to hear because again, they just psych themselves out.
Yeah.
And so let's talk market for a bit. Luxury market is a different game. We're seeing a shift. It's June 21st, summer solstice today, and we're in that shift period. Things are headed where they're headed, balancing out. How do you see things in the luxury space within, let's say, the next year?
I would say it's from our experience. I mean, when the stock market tends to drop and that sort of thing, people are looking for a safe haven for their money, and usually real estate is where that goes, especially luxury real estate. They kind of shift their money a little bit, but with the interest rate changes and everything that's going on, it's very hard to predict because you have the markets that are going down, and then you have the interest rates that are going up. So buying power has gone down. We have seen quite a strong luxury market right up until even this point. So, is that going to continue through for, the foreseeable future? It's very, very hard to tell. But, what we have seen, I'm fairly confident that things will continue rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another factor is the cost of construction.
Yeah.
To replace a custom home now, it will cost you so much more. So I think the resale market for luxury is going to stay strong.
Interesting.
As people are looking for something turnkey. They don't want to deal with headaches. You might buy a lot and build, and it's going to cost you, 20 or 30% what you're planning for. That can play a big factor. So I think the resale market of the luxury will still be strong, even the interest rate go up, as long as the cost of construction stays up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And we're seeing luxury market still strong. Properties that are turnkey and updated are selling quickly. And it used to take us a year to sell a $4 million house, and now it's taking us weeks.
Even in this market.
Even in this market.
Instagram.
Yes, Instagram. That's what it is.
Guys, screw market conditions. Just stay relevant on Instagram. You're good to go.
And then you're good. You'll sell everything.
You're foolproof.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I do have a question from Instagram. I'm gonna ask you guys. It was one last time I checked. Let me check. So this is for Carlos and Christina. Would you recommend other couple agents, so agents in a relationship, is working together beneficial to your business, and tips on how to make it work?
I think it is beneficial because you never know how you're going to click with a client. Sometimes we have clients that could be a male client that only, depends on the cultural background and everything. They like to do business with another man, realtor, and we click. Other times can be the other way. Christina will click with them, and then she can move forward with the transaction.
Yeah, and people always ask us about working together, do you guys like working together? Sorry, my phone.
It's okay, you're a realtor.
Do you guys like working together? How is it working together? But, I think if you can recognize each other's strengths and play off that, then you'll work well together. There's things that he's better at than I am, and vice versa. So it works. We make it work.
And then did you guys adopt David?
And then we
Is he the
adopted
child
David.
now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You're fully adopted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I live in the basement.
Some other.
Yeah.
That's awesome, guys. That's
But
awesome.
you know what? It's great that we have a partner because when we're working as a couple, say we want to go on vacation, we have someone to fall back on.
Yeah.
Right? Like we can pass on those listings to Dave or those clients to Dave while we're away. If Dave's away on vacation, we can take over for him. So
Yeah.
I know you had a guest on recently and they were saying as soon as you go on vacation, that's when everyone calls you.
Yeah.
That's when everyone wants to list their home.
Yeah,
and
it
that's
really
what
is.
happened to
Well,
us
that's
recently.
what happened to us in Punta Cana.
We were in Punta Cana and we were calling Dave, you got to go meet this client.
Yeah.
Like they want to list. Like we can't lose this. Like, can you go today? Because we weren't back for 4 or 5 days, right? So it helps to have a partner for sure.
Yeah, and it's so true though.
Yeah. Always.
I'm leaving for Florida tomorrow. I'm just waiting to see
Just
when I land,
waiting.
and because I mean, I just know my phone's gonna start blowing
As
up.
soon as
The
you
good
board the
thing you got
plane.
Wi-Fi now on board.
Yes, yeah.
So-
Just I think we should just all travel more.
Yeah.
I think
Right? I think it's
I agree.
beneficial
I like
for the
that.
business,
Definitely.
especially when you have this little setup.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not at
Every
the
other
same
week,
time.
we'll just alternate weeks.
You guys gotta set dates.
Yeah.
But it's these are super quick podcasts, so they fly by. We're already at the end here. But I wanted to say I really appreciate you guys coming on. Been very insightful, a lot of value, especially in the luxury space. Agency is awesome. You guys share a lot. Any maybe last words for aspiring agents or newer agents in the business out there?
So there is a quote that kind of resonated with me, and it was, don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. So, you might look at one of the top agents in your brokerage and be like, oh, I wish I could hit those numbers or get those kind of listings, but you don't know like the journey they've been on and the sacrifices they made to get there. And we're all in different parts of our journey, right? So don't put pressure on yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just go with the flow and just be yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super powerful.
Yeah.
Cannot agree more.
Yeah.
So just quotes from her, guys. That's it.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
the quote girl.
Well,
She's
you-
the
nailed
killer.
it.
She nailed
did
it.
good.
Nailed it.
That's
You
a
don't
listing
need to follow
presentation
up.
right there. Right?
Exactly.
Sold.
That's how we do it.
Well, for all the new fans out there, for you guys, where's the best place to find you guys?
So we have at CB Group Realty
Okay.
on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Same with YouTube. We have our website, cbgrouprealty.com. And then Carlos and Christina is at Carlos and Christina.
Yeah.
And then myself is at David Bukowski.
Everyone follow David. Let
Get my
message
followers
him
up. Let's do it.
and ask him to make videos.
Ask him to
And- and
show up on
y-
camera.
Say you really want to hear his voice
Yeah.
every day
I love
and
it.
be on his
Every day.
ass.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Amazing.
We're gonna post all your info in our bio and all your links. But
Okay.
thank you guys so much
That's
for coming.
awesome.
Oh, thanks for
It's
having
been
us.
awesome.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Absolutely. This was fun.
And to everyone out there, this is the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host again, Matthew Gampoli. Thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, families, grandmothers, cousins, and your pet goat. Don't forget your pet goat. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.